box.
Folks, welcome in to sportsbookreview.com. It is Friday. It's payday. We got 4 Major League Baseball games, so you know what time it is. It's time to talk some baseball action. Welcome to the show. I'm Donnie RightSide, along with Jason Radowitz and Purviance. My pockets are a little bit fatter from yesterday. An odds boost hit. My first 5 over hit yesterday. Ready to go on a Friday. And you know who's ready to go. Somebody must have won a lot of money last night.
Oof.
Dressing like that. Welcome in, Jason.
Well, I did. Yeah, we went 2-0 last night. And, of course, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky right now. I made sure to go to Indiana, which is 10 minutes away. Put my bets in yesterday and, of course, today as well. And, yeah, we're going to make the money regardless if the state is legal or not. It doesn't matter. We're going to find a way. But, yeah, yesterday was great. We got 2 wins. And, obviously, I'm going to a wedding right after this. So had to, get a little spiffy here and take some pictures right afterwards. So
I got to say here, Kyle, looking at in the chat box the other day, I said Jason got indicted on a RICO charge. I think he's BSing us here going to a wedding. Indictments today.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, yesterday was a great day. So shy picks, take the opposite. Well, if you did that yesterday, you went 0-2. So I hope you had a great night as well. And thank you for watching. Always like when you come in, the chat box is on fire and you like to see, keep yourself humble a little bit. See those guys who really dig in on you so your head doesn't get too big. That's always nice. We appreciate the chat box. A lot of fun, even before the show. Looking forward to another good day today. Let's go.
Absolutely. Ball buster number 1, shy picks. Whoever Kyle takes, do the opposite today. Let's go. Let's get after it today. Now, first, before we do that, 90,400 people hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for doing that. I love Friday shows because it's the end of the week. We can zero in on a couple things. And the fact that Major League Baseball gave us 4 games today, all spread out, is sensational. What an appetizer to a nice college football card on Saturday, NFL Sunday. Let's get it started here and have some fun. White Sox and the Astros. Now, this game yesterday for me was the hardest cap for a game and the hardest cap for a series. And it looks like my intuition came true here. I didn't know what I was getting out of the White Sox yesterday, Jason, and I got what I guess I deserved if you to bet them, because August, September didn't matter. And then you also just flip the switch and say, hey, playoffs here, let's get busy. It's almost like they've forgotten, like maybe today they will wake up. If we take a look at the line today, they are fairly cheap. Valdez opened up as a 117 favorite offshore, 126 here in New Jersey. We roughly have a pick 'em here, and I do agree with that, just with the pitching matchup. 8.5 across the board. There are some 8s out here, but looking at this game, it is now must-win territory for the Chicago White Sox, and maybe they're in playoff mode today or must-win mode, because yesterday they sure weren't there for me.
Yeah, so look, we talked about this all the time earlier in the season, right? The White Sox, they do hit lefties well. And then, obviously, later on in the season, it didn't go as planned to that extent. But at the end of the day, you're going to see the White Sox. They'll should have 9 righties in the lineup. I don't think the lineup probably did release already. So I'm assuming they would have all 9 righties in the lineup. Of course, I've been getting ready and whatnot, and I have so much going on. But I do think they'll have 9 righties in the lineup, and they'll go up against Valdez, who is a left-handed pitcher. Now, the weird thing is Valdez actually, in his last 30 days, he's been a lot worse to lefties than to righties. To lefties, 430 weighted OBA, ISO of 417. To righties, 251 weighted OBA and an ISO of .076. So with all those righties in the lineup, Valdez should perform. But then on the other side, you're like, all right, well, the White Sox, they should be able to hit a left-handed pitcher. So it's an interesting matchup. I do think the White Sox should be able to do some damage against Valdez, but he has been pretty good. If the walks get high and guys get on base, then there will be opportunity, obviously, for the White Sox, and they can do some damage there. On the other hand, you have Giolito going for the White Sox, and Giolito has been a lot better against the Astros than Lynn was yesterday. So we talked about how Lynn was really, really bad against the Astros, and obviously that showed yesterday, despite Lynn having a 2.7 ERA on the season. Giolito, he's been a lot worse this year in comparison to Lynn, but he's actually been a lot better against the Astros in his career. So when you look at this Astros lineup, they hit a lot of line drives, and they don't really hit too many ground balls. But the one thing that Giolito does really well, he does limit line drives, has limited to 17.9% in the last 30 days. So if he keeps the line drives down and just kind of gets more fly balls and limits the hard contact like he's been doing, I think the White Sox have a chance to win this game, and I think Giolito will be the better pitcher in this one as well.
It's interesting because there is, Jason, all right-handed batters in the lineup today. So theoretically, we would say to ourselves, okay, that's going to work out well. You have the righties lined up against the lefties. Now, here's the interesting part about Valdez. As we talk about 30 batters that he's faced over the past 30 days, he's gotten killed by lefties. and he's dominated righties. So something's going to have to give today. But also, Kyle, we're talking about DFS and, getting extra bases and what you can do in strikeout props. There are a ton of strikeouts in the lineup today for the Chicago White Sox versus lefties over the past 30 days. Take a look at the first three guys in the lineup: Anderson, Robert, and Abreu. Very good. After that, it is a disaster versus lefties over the last month. Grandal, 30%. Jimenez, 30%. Moncada, 31%. Vaughn, 33%. Garcia, 33%. Engel, 33%. You got to put the ball in play if you want to score runs here.
Yeah, exactly. And I was really close to taking Framber Valdez as a strikeout prop, to be completely honest. I backed off a little bit, and we'll talk about the strikeout prop I took for the day. We've got the AWA Midwest champion Shane Baz on the mound tonight, so we're going to talk about that in a little bit here. But this is one where I lean the underdog here. I actually lean the White Sox a little bit. We talked about it yesterday. The Astros lineup profiled well against Lynn and has hit well against Lynn, and that came to fruition. They hit their team total, did it easily early in the game, and that was a nice little win. You could put your feet up. Today, however, you got Giolito, 122 fantasy points in his last two games against the Astros. When you flip that over to Framber Valdez, in his last two of those games were in the teens, 14 and 19. So it's been a little bit different. Both nice low-weighted 3-year OPS. As you talk about Valdez versus lefties and righties, if you take a 3-year sample size, it's nearly identical to lefties and righties, a 660 versus lefties, a 656 versus righties. Do I think the Astros are the better team? Yes. Do I think they probably win this series? I do. But tonight, just looking at it, we used to love the White Sox versus lefties, right? And then that's sort of fallen off the wagon. I think here in the postseason with those 9 righties, when I look at it, it's an underdog with a good price and a pretty equal pitching matchup. I'll take the underdog here. Dog or pass for me. I'll take the White Sox on the money line in the first 5. It's like plus 105. And I think they pull this one out and even the series tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because we take a look at the White Sox lineup here and the strikeouts in the lineup. It's almost a role reversal when you take a look at Houston today versus right-handed pitching over the past month. 10%, 4%, 9%, 16%, 17%, 15%. Only 3 guys on that roster above 22%. So a lot of those and a lot of the damaging bats in the first 7, only one of those guys, Alvarez, has a 22% strikeout rate. Balls might be in play today. Should be an interesting one, but I sort of lean. Again, it's hard for me. The White Sox are so talented, but the fact that they haven't, iron sharpens iron down the stretch where teams like the Dodgers and the Giants had to win every single day to get into the playoffs. And then you have basically the White Sox, and we'll see the Brewers coming up as well. They haven't had any pressure in months, it seems. And now you just flip the switch on. It's like, wait a second. The Atlanta Braves battled all the way through this, season, August, September, still having to close out teams. Maybe we'll see how that plays out. So let's get to the next game on the docket today. 9:19, 9:20. This one starts at 4:37. Atlanta and Milwaukee. Morton versus Burns. 7s across the board. 162s. The price has gone up here on the brick, and I agree with it. Pinnacle opened up at minus 135. Now at 153. FanDuel 142. Now it's sitting at 162. I had to go over like certain numbers and check like different websites because the numbers I'm about to read make no sense whatsoever. I don't know if there's a cyborg on the mound today. That's Chris Sale. Ferguson Jenkins from back in the day, mixed in with a little Steve Carlton and rounded out with Max Scherzer. Burns, a 1.97 xFIP over the past 30 days, a strikeout rate. And this isn't through like 5 or 6 batters. He's faced 88 batters. He's basically struck half of them out. I don't know if I've ever seen that in my life here, as opposed to a dominant reliever that pitches like 1 inning a night. That is sensational stuff. Look at his weighted on base averages to lefties, 226 to righties, 212. Absolutely astounding. And when you take a look at here how the Braves match up over the past 30 days versus righties, they can't hit them. Outside of Jorge Soler and Freddie Freeman, the rest of the lineup is terrible. Look at these weighted on base averages. Albies, 275. Riley, 316. Duvall, 287. Rosario, 323. D'Arnaud, 269. And average Swanson, 325. I think Burns mows this lineup down one by one, but also on the opposite side. Do we love Milwaukee's batters? Absolutely not. Morton has been great. Look at his weighted on base averages. 249, 230. To lefties, ISO power number 0.095. To righties, 0.029. Stone cold under here for me, Jason.
Yeah, so should I do the Lee Corso and go, not so fast, my friend?
Exactly. Yes.
No, I actually like the Braves here.
Yeah.
I do like the Braves. The Braves, they've hit Corbin Burns pretty well over his career. You have guys like Dansby Swanson in the 8th hole. He already has 2 home runs and 5 at-bats against Burns. So, yeah, he's been struggling as of late. He's been one of the worst batters in all of baseball. But maybe this kind of gets him out of the slump for whatever reason. He has 2 home runs against him. Also, you have Austin Riley with the home run, Jock Peterson with the home run. I'm not so sure if Pearson will play. It might be Eddie Rosario, but Pearson is 4 of 8 against Burns for his career. When it comes to this Braves lineup, the right field power numbers aren't great. A 202 is still above average for the entire lineup, and a 331 weighted OBA. Not the best, but not the worst. But against righties in the last 30 days, they've actually hit 24.7% line drives. They've limited ground balls to 36.9%. The batting average of balls in play sitting at 322, which they're all not bad at all. So yeah, is Burns going to get his strikeouts? Of course he'll get his strikeouts. But when balls are put in play, there's a good chance he'll get some line drives. A good chance he'll get a ball in play that becomes a hit and whatnot. So I think there's a real chance where the Braves are able to actually win this game, and especially the first 5 innings here. Charlie Morton's actually done a really great job against the Brewers lineup, has held them to a 190 average throughout their career. That's over 100 at-bats. So Morton obviously has more experience. Burns has been pretty bad against the Braves, had 1 start this season against them, and went just 4 innings, allowed 9 hits and a bunch of runs, and just had 6 strikeouts and let up a home run. So yeah, I think the Braves have a legitimate chance at winning this game. This is the playoffs. You can expect the unexpected, and I think that with Burns' 1.97 xFIP and strikeout percentage of 43.2%, it can't get any better than that. It can only go down from there. So I like the Braves in this one.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one here because, I'm not going to give away my play until we get down to the section here. But I got to tell you, you can give a hint on this one. Ain't nobody scoring in this game, Kyle, at least early. Go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah, look, I agree with Jason here. I think the Braves get runs. And if you get over to BetMGM, you can get the Braves team total over 2.5 at -145.
That tells you all you need to know, right?
That tells me all I need to know, and it tells me that number is too low. Let's go. Now, I know they've struggled against righties the last 30 days, but Jason's right. This year, in his 1 start, smashed by Atlanta. Last year, a -13 and a 9 in his 2 appearances. It's just like the Rockies. We talked about this when Corbin Burns pitches against the Rockies. For some reason, he just can't get them out, and he seems to have problems with this Braves lineup as well. And look, this is a good Braves lineup. I think that number's too low. Do I think Milwaukee could still win the game? Absolutely. I think this game's pretty 50-50. It would be a dog or pass situation for me if I'm going to bet a side on this. I'm going to take the plus money and take the Braves, simply because I think Morton Corbin Burns? No, but Morton's very, very solid. Certainly the best pitcher on the Braves staff. And when you compare the 2 lineups, I just don't like the Milwaukee Brewers lineup. I haven't liked it all season long. It's kind of weird to me that they're even in the playoffs. I don't like how they profile a 688 weighted 3-year OPS. So if I'm taking a side, I'm taking the underdog here. But really, for me, I think that team with the kind of power and hitting prowess that the Braves have, and you only need them to get to 3 runs, I'll take it. I like that Braves team total over 2.5 -145 at BetMGM.
Yeah, it should be a good one here in the afternoon. I shouldn't say it should be a good one because I'm not expecting much run. So maybe I'll take my nap around 4:30 and get ready for the big boys here, playing a little bit later tonight. 9:17, 9:18, 7 o'clock tonight, Boston and Tampa Bay. Now, every time I look at this game, I have the same reaction. I say, all right, I'm not going to look at the lines here. Chris Sale versus Baz. Okay. Boston -165, -170 this game? No, absolutely not. How about Tampa Bay favorite at 141, 142, 145 across the board, and a 7.5? I don't know how you kill Tampa Bay. I don't know how you beat Tampa Bay. I don't know how you push Tampa Bay out of the playoffs because it certainly isn't happening here. When they can just throw random guys out of the stands who dominate, I give up. And if you're every other general manager out here, Jason, as we like to talk about, where, hey, I need to sign a guy for 9 years, $300 million, they are laughing their ass off at Tampa Bay. Snell, get the hell out of here. We ain't paying you nothing. Watch us go with McClanahan next year as our opening starter in the playoffs. It's outrageous. It makes no sense. Chris Sale is on the mound today. And you know what? Tampa Bay's beating them again, Jason.
Yeah, obviously yesterday we watched the Rays destroy Eduardo Rodriguez early in that game. Couldn't even go 2 innings. He's a left-handed pitcher. Again, Sale, another left-handed pitcher that has actually struggled against this Rays lineup previously. The Rays, 282 ISO, weighted OBA 391 against lefties in the last 30 days. They're limiting the ground balls. The top of the order is hitting line drives. And everything looks good for the Rays here. Sale hasn't looked the best in his last couple of outings. Obviously, the big one was on Sunday where he didn't look great and had to leave the game early in a must-win game there. So the Rays here, they have a ton of guys that can hit home runs. They have 4 guys against Sale that have hit homers. There are actually 3. You have Cruz, you have Wander Franco, you also have Kevin Kiermaier. All those guys have home runs against Sale. You'll probably see the same lineup that we just saw last night, and they'll be the same result, right? Another 5-1, 6-1 type of game, and the Rays should be able to win this game, even with Shane Baz in the mound, who he might allow a home run or two. So I'm not going to say the Red Sox won't have a chance. They're going to have a lot better of a chance of scoring runs in this game. Again, they did hit 9 hits yesterday, so it's not like they can't hit the ball. They just didn't score with runners in scoring position. That's because the Rays have so many guys that can either get ground balls, throw strikeouts, and whatnot, and that's just what they do. But if anything, the Red Sox should be able to score some runs. I just think the Rays obviously will score more, and they have a better matchup here against Sale compared to the Red Sox against Baz.
It's really interesting, and it's not like saying oh, Tampa Bay just good. They don't get lucky. They were the best team in the American League. They dominated yesterday. Chris Sale's on the mound. It tells you, sometimes you can just read into things. Like Chris Sale being a prohibitive dog in this game, Kyle. It tells you everything you need to know here. Boston's a good baseball team, but Tampa's just on another level with anonymous guys outside of Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, and I will say, of all the games today, the one that I think has the best chance to go over is this particular game. It is the highest combined weighted 3-year OPS for the two teams. Again, when you go to BetMGM, you can get the Red Sox team total over 2.5 at -160. I mean, look, Shane Baz, he's only had 3 starts in his career. So we have a young pitcher making his postseason debut against the Boston Red Sox. This is not an easy spot for him. There's going to be nerves, no doubt about it. So I think the Red Sox get some runs here. I like that Red Sox team total. I also like the Rays team total over 3.5. I think it makes a ton of sense. It's the highest weighted 3-year OPS on the card today is Chris Sale against this Tampa Bay lineup. I like the Tampa Bay Rays and DFS. There are advantages up and down the board here when you look at this lineup. It's the most exposure I have to any team in DFS today, but we've got advantages. Rosarena, 85%. Franco, 71%. By the way, 4 of 6 lifetime, a triple and a home run off of Chris Sale. Yandy Diaz, 6 of 12 lifetime, 55% advantage here. Nelson Cruz, 12 of 35, 2 home runs, 79% advantage. So you can see these advantages. Manuel Margot even, 3 of 5, 53% advantage. So I like team totals here. I paid for the juice for the Red Sox at BetMGM over 2.5 -160 because I just want to get to that 3 number. But look, for me, it's just the fate of the young kid, the AWA Mid-Continental Champion, Shane Baz. He'll be defending his title tonight with a 15-minute time limit. And, of course, this bout is scheduled
Terry Von Erich.
One fall. Exactly. Where's the Texas Tornado to get in here and get down at that, what's that arena in San Antonio they used to always fight at? I can't remember. That's old.
The Alamo Dome.
Yeah, the Alamo Dome. There was another building that they used to go down there.
The Hemisphere Arena?
Yeah, something like that. Yes, that's right. Down in Texas here. But I think the depressed team totals are live. I do think this game has the highest chance of going over. I'm not saying it will go over, but I would say in my opinion, this would be the game with the most runs, maybe followed by Houston and Chicago. So I'll lean the Red Sox here. I think they can even this series up tonight against Shane Baz. I don't like the debuting pitcher, young man, against a team with the Red Sox pedigree in a big moment. They're already up 1-0. I think I lean the underdog again here and lean the Red Sox. But what I really like is that over 2.5 at BetMGM.
Now, you know what the best part of the game last night was, which is just a microcosm of Tampa Bay and what they are, like a thorn in the side of every other team. Yeah. They play in a stadium where you can hit the ball off the roof and it bounces around. They just say it's a home run. There are 4 different rings, which mean 4 different base hit categories, and you can actually catch them off the roof for an out. That can equate that to an NBA crazy game. Steph Curry for 3. Oh, man, it hit the scoreboard. Well, how did it hit the scoreboard? Well, our ceiling's really low here in the arena, so he can't shoot 3-pointers over here. You got to be kidding me, Major League Baseball. But it's not stopping. It's no longer if they build it, they will come. You saw in Miami, they built them. Nobody wants to come here. It's too hot. We're going to build you a dome stadium. Nobody goes. If they build a beautiful outdoor ballpark in Tampa and win the World Series 5 straight years, they will get 40 people in the stands, 35 of those the opposing team's fans. So don't build them a stadium. They don't deserve it. Just let them play in that ridiculously down there in Tampa. Let's get to the final game tonight and the main event. That is the Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. Exactly what we wanted to see. Look at the games today. Even FanDuel Sportsbook, 8, 7, 7.5, 7. So we stark contrast to us fading bad pitchers and bullpens here because you ain't getting that. And this game is going to be fantastic. Buehler on the road as a slight favorite. But look at these odds prices. And I guess you really can't argue with it, Jason. 135 opening number Pinnacle, now at 114. FanDuel, 136 down to 118. 7s across the board. Outrageous, man. I love it.
Yeah, I agree with this. The under here in this game. If you look at Buehler, 3.36 xFIP, striking out 26.8% of the batters, getting ground balls at about 52.5% of the time in the last 30 days. The line drive rate isn't even that bad either. Now, I will say that Buehler has struggled just a little bit. 2 righties in the last 30 days, 329 weighted OBA and ISO of 214. It's not horrendous, but there are going to be, Posey, Bryant, Longoria. I think those might be the only 3 righties in the lineup. So that's why I really wouldn't be too concerned, because Posey has been pretty awful against righties in the last 30 days, and really the second half of the season against righties. When it comes to power, the ground balls have been ridiculous for Posey. So really, you're just kind of worrying about Bryant and Longoria, 2 guys that haven't been that great either. And then you go on the other hand, you have Webb, who's obviously been one of the better pitchers that really hasn't been talked about much this season. A 2.76 xFIP in the last 30 days. The walks are down, strikeouts are up, and the ground ball rate sitting over 60% of the time. So yeah, this could be an interesting game. It's definitely going to be an under game, in my opinion. Hard contact for Webb, a little bit higher than Buehler, but at the end of the day, I do think both of these guys get the job done in the under hits in this game.
After Jason testified, all you heard was R. Kelly. Y'all killing me over here. Y'all killing me.
Secret witness for R. Kelly. It's a dangerous little game you're playing over there. Hopefully it works out. They say even bad press is good press, so we'll see how that works out for you.
Yep. What do you got? Go ahead. Dodgers Giants, Kyle.
Dodgers Giants, tough one here, right? And I'm with you. I lean the under here. I think this is under all day long. I even kind of like the under 3.5 in the first 5 innings. I think when you do see runs here, it doesn't just feel like 9th inning game's going to be on the line and something crazy is going to happen in the 9th inning. It really feels that way. I don't like a lot of runs here. There's not a lot of great profiling here. I will say the Dodgers profile better. They've actually been a little bit better against Webb, 39, 24, and 34 in his last 3. When you look at Buehler, now his last start against the Giants did not go well. -6. The start before that, a 3. Then his previous 3 were all in the 50s here. Man, that scares me a little bit with the Giants. But you got a 624 weighted 3-year OPS for the Giants versus Buehler, a 714 for Webb. Dodgers lineup profiles a little bit better. It's hard to pick against the Dodgers, especially at home. But I'm going to stay away from the sides here. I think this game goes under the 7. I don't see a ton of runs here, and I really like that under 3.5 in the first 5 innings. If you're looking for a hitter for DFS and this sort of thing, Justin Turner's been pretty good against Webb, 3 of 7 in his career. Of course, no home runs. That's really it. When you look at the Giants, not much better here. Yastrzemski, 6 of 20. Crawford, 4 of 23. Dickerson, 3 of 21. So there's not a whole lot of success here from either lineup against these opposing pitchers. I lean the under here quite a bit, and I like that under 3.5 in the first 5 innings.
Yeah, it should be a good one, man. That's the one late. And again, I probably won't be up to see the end of it there, but I do think it's going to be a fascinating game. One of those which may go to extra innings, which I'm waiting for, because I want to see these teams. And I'm like, no, wait a second. There's no runner on second base. We actually have to get a single, move the runner over ourselves, and then try to get a base hit after that. It's going to be such a far. It's going to go 35 innings. You might be playing early on Saturday morning here, so we'll see how that works out. Let's get to some value menu wagers on the card. 4 games. One is about to start in about 15 minutes. That's not where I'm going today, but obviously, if you guys were listening yesterday, case in point, and we tell you all the time, shop around, get the numbers you want. When you're dealing with low numbers, every number you get that you can buy off of or get lower makes a massive difference. I talked about it yesterday. The line was 4 and a little bit of juice here in the first 4 or 5 innings for Tampa Bay and Boston yesterday. I said, you know what? That means they got to get to 5. Can they? Maybe, but I feel way more comfortable with them getting to 4. I bought it to 3.5. I cashed the ticket as opposed to pushing. I'm going to do the same thing today, but instead of going with an over in the first 5s, I'm going with an under in this one, and that is Milwaukee and that is Atlanta. I'm not enthralled with both of these lineups the way they profile, but I did price this up here. It's 4. -155 over the first 5 innings at BetMGM. I bet it about 20 minutes ago here. So I think, look, if they get the 5 runs, 3-2 by 5 innings, I'm fine. I lost it. It was just a bad read here. But even if both of these pitchers struggle a little bit, it's not reasonably to believe that it will end 2-2 at the end of 5 innings, which I think is going to be a high-scoring first 5. 3-1, 2-1, 1-0. I will take all of those here. And he said, well, Donnie, why don't you just take the 7 for the full game? I don't want to see this game where I have a good cap on it and it goes to extra innings at 3-3 and I lost already. Meanwhile, they scored 6 runs over 9 innings, but that doesn't matter because there are no ties in baseball. You can tie at the end of the 5th inning without getting extra at bats here. So 2-2, that'll give me a push. 3-1, that'll give me a push, but I'm looking for 2-1s, 2-0s, 1-0s, or 0-0 here. My value menu play, and I've had a good week so far. Look at me taking unders here and having success with it. Another under for me in this game, Jason. Where are you looking here?
Yeah, so I got the Braves first 5 at plus 140. I just think there's so much value there, knowing how the Braves have hit Burns in the past. If they want to go win 2-0, that's completely fine with me. Even 1-0, so Donnie and I can both cash. That's fine as well. But again, I do like the Braves here. I agree with Donnie's analysis on Morton. I think he'll have a great outing here against the Brewers. They really don't profile well at all on paper the last 30 days against him. So I do think Morton holds it down, and I wouldn't expect the Braves to be able to score 4 runs. I would think 2 or 3 runs would be the maximum that you can get out of the Braves in the first 5 innings against Burns. So yeah, Braves first 5 plus 140 on the money line. That's one of my value plays, and I'll save the other one for just a little bit.
There you go, Kyle. Where you got some value on your menu card today? Where you got?
God, I got to tell you, it's hard to focus here with the sharp-dressed man in the middle here and trying to figure out everything he's doing. And you can see he's not ready to get to the activities. He just wants to talk and talk. Just keep him up in that room.
Sports. I love talking sports.
Away from the crazy.
Got another show, honey. Just added.
Yeah. I got to go talk, Wilder Fury this Saturday. Okay, so on my value menu, it's juiced to minus 160, but I'm going to take that Red Sox team total over 2.5. I just don't like the look of a young pitcher, 3 career starts, and here he is in this spot. I think the Red Sox can get some runs here, get a couple on him, and scrape one across early. Red Sox team total over 2.5 minus 160. And in that same vein, my strikeout prop for today, I took the under 5.5 strikeouts for Shane Baz. That was at minus 120. In his 3 starts, he did get to 6 strikeouts once. The other 2 times he did not. It's a smaller sample size here, but I think the nerves get to him, the pressure gets to him. And don't forget, Tampa Bay is not afraid to go to that bullpen early. That's what they do. So I'm going to take the under 5.5 strikeouts for Baz. I'm going to take that over 2.5 team total over at BetMGM for the Red Sox at minus 160.
Yeah, and also I know a lot of people love taking those strikeout props here, but once you get to the playoffs, the same way that we like to say you have to be a chameleon. What did we love all season long? Just knocking down team total overs, game total overs, and look at me in the playoffs going, you know what? I got to change my eye level here and say, this is what makes sense. So if you're just looking at these dominant starting pitchers, 5.5, 6.5, they'd get that all season long. Yeah, because you're not trying to eat your bullpen. If you struggle a little bit and give up 4 runs, but you have good stuff, you can go 7 innings and get 9 strikeouts. In this day and age, in this environment in the playoffs, you go 3 innings, give up 2 runs, you're out of here. I don't care what your pitch count is. So keep that in mind as well. Let's get to some odds boost today. Yesterday, mine cashed. He has a great day in Major League Baseball. Hit the team, hit the total for the first 5 innings. Wander Franco gets the base hit early in the game, which was sensational, wrapping that up in the first inning. So I hit that plus 210 number. Coming back today, not in love with these props that I have to say. And also, usually we're looking at team totals, which means they correlate with runners getting doubles and triples and home runs. Obviously, if you have every game, basically 8, 7, or whatever across the board, it doesn't lend itself to it. So I'm going to go with FanDuel Sportsbook here, plus 5-1 here on a parlay. Are they hard to hit? Yes. Is every team good? Will it hit? I mean, that's why it's a 5-1 here, odds boosted. That is the Brewers, Rays, and Dodgers at plus 500 across the board. Didn't bet the max $50, bet just enough here to win $100 to have some action, because I do think the Brewers have a legitimate chance. The Rays have a legitimate chance, and the Dodgers as well. I'll take that chance. But again, not a great odds boost day for me, Jason. Where are you looking here?
Yeah, so on Caesars or William Hill, I got the Dodgers to win the series in 5 games against the Giants, boosted to plus 400. So we're not cashing this today.
Cheater.
We better hope
can't do that, right, Donnie?
Ooh, man,
you can't do that, right, Donnie?
You can only take this. You can only take this wager today. Otherwise, you don't get the boost anymore. Therefore, it does count. But again, we're not going to cash this today. We're not going to cash this tomorrow. Hopefully, it takes a long time to cash this, because we do need the Dodgers to win the series in 5 games. So we want it to be 2-2, and then we want the Dodgers to, of course, win that final game and win it in 5 games at plus 400 on Caesars. But again, you can only get this wager today. Tomorrow, it will be gone. The odds won't be there anymore. Therefore, I have to give it out today if I want to take it. And I want to take it.
All right, so I assume Kyle's going to take Tampa Bay to win the World Series in 2028 as an odds boost plus 400. Go ahead, Kyle.
That's exactly right. You picked my odds boost. I don't even need to say anything. No, I actually took a hit prop over here at Fox Bet. I've got Jose Altuve, Freddie Freeman, and Christian Yelich to all get 1 or more hit, boosted to plus 225. All 3 hitters have a hit off the starting pitcher today. Freeman's 1 for 3 in his career off of Burns. Yelich is 8 for 18 in his career off of Morton, and of course Jose Altuve is 3 of 10 in his career off of Giolito as well. So I think all 3 can get a hit. It's boosted from 175 to 225, and that is over at Fox Bet. And Yeah, at least he didn't steal my pick again. That's true. I mean, he took one. I guarantee if I tried to type that in the thing, nope, can't take that one. Take a different one. So he snuck it in under the radar. Nice move.
You gotta have reasoning. You gotta have reasoning behind why you
His
take
mind is sharp. Things are sharp over there in the Radowitz clan. I like it.
Yeah, Paul Barasana says another shiesty move by Jason. I do agree out here, man. There's a lot of shiestiness going on here. Best bets on the Major League Baseball board. 4 games out there. I just keep it simple. Again, the only play I have is Atlanta-Milwaukee under 4 at -155 at BetMGM on the first 5 innings here. Jason, adding on to your card, anything out there for the people?
Yeah, I like the Rays over 3.5 on the team total at -115. Yeah, I know it's Chris Sale on the mound, and obviously, when you hear the name, you get all excited. But at the end of the day, the Rays, they do have some good numbers against Sale for his career. That 34 hit in 111 at bats, 274 average, and an OPS of 739. Like we talked about earlier, Wander Franco has a home run. Nelson Cruz has 2, hit one last night and said he's not going anywhere. He'll be playing next year as well. So that's always really cool to hear. But yeah, look, the Rays, they're just really, really good against lefties. And so if Sale allows 1 or 2 runs, then you go to the bullpen. And don't forget the Red Sox, they just used Pivetta. They just used Garrett Richards yesterday in that game. So if they use them again, they might be a little bit fatigued there. So now their bullpen's a little bit, rocky going to this game. So there's a lot to like here for the Rays against the Red Sox. So if they just score 2 runs against Sale through 5 innings, I still think they'll be able to get those other 2 runs later in the game against the bullpen. So going with the Rays here, over 3.5 on the team total at -115.
All right, Kyle, what do you have? Expanding your card? What are you doing here?
I'm going with that team total for the Atlanta Braves, over 2.5 at -145. It's just too low for me. I know Burns is great. I don't disagree, but I don't like his history against this team. He was shelled by them earlier this season. He actually didn't look great in his last start, October 2nd against the Dodgers either. Pitched a couple of innings in that game and got rocked. So I think the Braves get the 3 runs tonight. I'm going to take that team total over 2.5 at
There
-145.
you go. All right. That is a Friday. And I just looked at the clock here, 2:04 Eastern. Whoa!
Come on.
Let's get the weekend started here. Baseball is about to start as well. Big time weekend here at sportsbookreview.com. Make sure you guys tune in for tomorrow, College Football Show Sunday. Both myself and Kyle Purviance for what? Their closing line, getting you ready. I got a lot of work to do in the NFL today, a lot of work tomorrow, some really good things here. Christian McCaffrey looks like he's not going to play this weekend. So big time things. Keep an eye on those practice reports out here. I wish we had practice reports like this for Major League Baseball. Would be fantastic stuff. But before we get out of here, let's clear the bases and let the people know exactly what we're on in our totality. I am on Atlanta and Milwaukee, under 4, -155. BetMGM over the first 5 innings. And also my boost today is at FanDuel. Brewers, Rays, and Dodgers all to win, boosted to +500. Where are you going, Jason? Round up that card.
So we're on the Braves first 5 at +140 on the money line. So of course, if the Braves just tie in the first 5, you get your money back at +140. If you want to play it safer, obviously, you can go with that +0.5 in the first 5, probably around, I would assume, around -110, maybe +100 range. Also, I'm on the Rays over 3.5 on the team total at -115. And the odds boost, the Dodgers to win the series in 5 games, boosted on Caesars +400.
There you go. Kyle, what do you got here? Give the people what they want.
Man, I wish I was partying like the chat box thinks I'm partying. That sounds like a lot of fun, but alas, I'm too old and I would have a heart attack, so probably not here. So I've got the Red Sox team total over 2.5 -160 on the value. Man, it's a great comment. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I've got the Red Sox team total over 2.5 -160. I've got the Braves team total over 2.5 -145 as my play of the day. I also like that hit prop Yelich, Freeman, and Altuve as the odds boost over at Fox Bet to all get a hit at +225. My home run list today is Rafael Devers and Nelson Cruz, both in the same game. And I'm also going to take young man Radowitz here. It's a little juiced up at -235, but I think dressed like that, he's getting some action today. I'm going to take young Radowitz to get some action.
+100. Super boost out for $25. Come on. Super boost.
Yeah, max bet at $25. We'll give you a super boost, and Jason will certainly let you know on Twitter.
Get some good video. Price. We've got some good videos from the wedding tonight in Kentucky, but that'll do it for our Friday show here at sportsbookreview.com. And as Kyle always likes me to tell you, before you know it's going to be Monday, and we'll be right back to work right here. But enjoy your weekend out there. We want to cash some tickets. We've got a lot of good things, as I said, still going on at sportsbookreview.com. You got the fight game. You got, everything you need to get ready on football, college football tomorrow, Sunday. Both myself and Kyle getting after it. But thanks again for tuning in with us on Friday. Let's see if we can cash some tickets. Let your weekend start early today I'm Donnie RightSide along with Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We are the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. This was your show for Friday. And as always, good luck on those wagers.